So what's up guys, I'm back with another video. This one should be pretty quick today. In this one we're just going to be installing a USB port just so I can charge my phone. So what I'm going to be doing is just going to be pulling off the left fairing just so I can run the wire nice and neat behind the fairing and zip tie it. Make sure it doesn't, touch anything hot and melt or anything like that. And just like anything that you install in the handlebar area, you always want to make sure that you provide clearance for turning the handlebars, make sure nothing gets in the way. And this is a 2-port USB charger, so it's gonna be pretty challenging to do that on this bike because it is pretty fat, as you can see. So you have to find a nice spot up front to mount this thing where it won't hit the handlebars when you turn or hit anything else, any of the instruments or anything. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so this is what I had in mind. I was gonna put it right here, but it's so thick that you can see as when I turn it, it comes pretty close to the fork, and I just don't want to risk that. So the other idea I came up, which is what I'm gonna go with, is just to mount it right up here on the front of this thing here, and then just zip tie it to this. And this will allow it to turn, and it clears the steering stabilizer and everything, and it doesn't hit anything. So that's what I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna make sure I leave enough slack in the wire down here that, that allows this to move side to side. So let's go ahead and pull off the fairing and get this thing mounted. All right, so my SAE connector is tied up behind this little piece here. And you can go ahead and pull this off. And you can see mine's right here in the back. The one I have has like a 36-inch cable, so there should be plenty of cable to make that run from the top of the handlebars to the connector over here. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm actually gonna run it behind this plastic piece here and try to run it alongside these wires here and then out through this little hole here. There's a little hole right here that comes out behind here. See if I can get that in there. All right, so I can't get it off. Can't get it through there. I'm gonna pop off this plastic piece a little bit. I'm just gonna stuff the wire, right behind these other ones just so it's held in place and it doesn't interfere with putting the fairing back on. And that'll keep me from having to put any unnecessary zip ties. All right, so I'm just gonna pass this through here. Pull it right up down there. All right, so this will just connect right here, and then I'll have charging. All right, so before I finish down at the bottom, I'm gonna finish it up at the top here first, just to make sure I get the right amount of slack on the cable. So I'm just gonna pass this through here. Right. Set it up there for now. Grab a few zip ties. I'm probably gonna do about 2 zip ties. Side. Make them across the other side here. That one. I think I got some spares. Alright, we'll snip off the ends. And there you have it. Doesn't look too ugly. Got enough slack to turn the handlebars. Nothing gets hit. So I'm just gonna put one last zip tie right here just to hold the wire to this group of wires here and keep it from flapping around. Take this. And while I'm doing this, I have the bars full turned to the right. Actually, I'm gonna put one more zip tie just to make sure we got the right amount of slack on the cable. Just one last double check. Okay, we're good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece back on. You can go ahead and plug in the coil as well. Just be very careful when you're putting this back on. You have to make sure these teeth go inside these grooves here and make sure you don't break them. Otherwise, you have to replace this whole thing. All right, so now I have my wire back here. Just gonna take a couple more zip ties and just tidy it up back here. Make sure it's secured. And I'm just zip tying it to the wires that is already back here. All right, I'm gonna plug it in. I'll add one more zip tie back here. All right, and we're done. Let me go grab an iPhone cable and just test it out, and then we can go ahead and pop the fairing back on. Just put this little piece back in right quick. So before I grab the cable and we test it out right quick, let me just show you one last time how the cable is ran. It's ran up from the handlebars, comes back from under here, and just runs right along under these cables here, and then comes out this little hole in the back and down to the SAE connector. Pretty simple, a little bit of a pain in the ass to get through there, but it looks clean and you almost can't tell anything was added. All right, so I got my spare iPhone cable just because my family has a lot of Apple devices. So I got a lot of spare lightning cables. Go ahead and plug this in. Get my phone. All right, and you can see it's charging. So it works great. And that's all there is to it. And we can just go ahead, put the phone up here. Good enough. And one last thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and zip tie up this cable just because I don't need that much. So we'll just take it like that. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll put the fairing back on and then we'll be done with this. All right, so that about wraps this one up. If you guys got any questions, drop them down in the comment box. I will be sure to leave a link down in the description to this specific USB cable, just in case you guys want to pick this one up. But it doesn't have to be this specific one. You can get any one you want as long as it has the SAE plug to connect to the bike's SAE adapter. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys want, you can drop a comment down below and let me know which USB cable you guys are using or what other type of charging situation you guys have going on. Hopefully RAM Mounts comes out with a wireless charger. That'll be real nice if I could swap the whole RAM mount out with the same type of one that has a wireless charger on it, and I can just plug that right into the USB port. But for now, we'll have to use this. That's it for this one. I'm gonna check you guys out on the next one. Peace.